Le funny incest game, 10 out of 10, come back next time. Just kidding. In the dawn of the 21st century, known as the COVID years, some of us were avoiding school reunions, others were playing their gaming backlogs while faking work for the whole quarantine, or discovering new hobbies and passions. Well, namely was developing games, which I have no interest on covering unless this video gets 10,000 likes. I definitely have not already downloaded the rest to make a video. Don't check my iDrive, please. There's porn in it. But by 2023, she released her first, I assume, magnum opus, The Coffin of Andy and Leyley. Before we get into that though, like, sub, hit that bell, watch the streams, all that social stuff I add at the end of the scripts because I keep forgetting. And without further ado, let's go. The Coffin of Andy and Leyley follows two brothers and their misadventures with demons, cultists, murder, cannibalism, and the glorious of all sins, the also fame incest. This one is for the old heads. I'm 19. But any of you remember the Trash Taste podcast discussion, or various I guess, between Joey the Anime Man and Garnt Giga, aka the Anime Zone, where Joey's argument that you only like incest is because you didn't grow up with a sister? I can give my opinion because I was an only child till 12, so comment down below. I am of the opinion that Joey is probably right, but I think step-siblings relationship probably failed this benchmark, if both are teens or older of course. Now, back to the game. Today we shall only cover the first chapter, not because I'm avoiding playing chapter 3A again, but because of the arbitrary reason that I can milk this way more if I do 4 or 5 separate videos and then make a compilation. I have become a YouTuber, destroyer of passion. Inflation Cynical 2023. Chapter 1. The story of Chapter 1. We wake up in our humble apartment, controlling one of our two protagonists, and only one for each chapter, Ashley Graves, as we wake up during our imposed quarantine. Now, I'm going to be real with y'all. I hate Ashley. All my homies hate Ashley. At least I hate most of her. So, we get up and look for food to feed Devil Spawn, that's what I'm calling Ashley, and make her more acceptable to offer to Mr. TF2 Pyro Incident. Or me. After a thorough investigation, we find some tomatoes in the trash hidden by Graves. Andrew Graves. Almost finished a college degree, chain smoker, the guy would have an affair if given the chance. And once he gets a hold of this news, he stops us from consuming the last remnants of food in his apartment. As a note, Devil Spawn says paper is not edible, and I want to counter that idea. As a certified 5th grader, paper muncher, it's not only edible but really tasty. It tastes like paper. Eventually we eat canned tomatoes, potatoes, whatever. Despite the pursuits of Andrew, of course. It's a shame really that there is no more food here. The next meal should be a Great Depression classic, water pie. As we eat, our demon-loving neighbor starts playing his hideous circus music, so use a plank from our parents' bookshelf and we cross to check up on him. Your parents fucked on his bed. Yes, Ashley. And so will you after I... Look! The neighbor is trying to summon a devil! To take him out of the quarantine? No! I bet he's trying to send Ashley back to hell. We go back to our home and watch some TV next. Really nice presenter by the way, only called us disgusting. And with that, we end up sleeping. A flashback? Mom goes out to buy cigarettes and the nurse pokes some holes in us. I'd also test Ashley for rabies. Then, after a time skip, we see Ashley bothering her mom for food since the guards didn't bring any. God, she's such a fat ass. Me saying this like I wouldn't hit her. she was actually fat. So then she washes clothes. She might be the best devil-made woman actually. Oh wait, Andrew said it was a bad idea. Stop it, devil spawn! Eventually, we clean everything and Ashley dies? No, she only became unconscious. We wake up to more lies from the news, just like in real life. Then we sleep again, and wake up to the sound of poor Andrew getting dumped. Bad for him, good for me. I'm grabbing that cute English major's ass. Also, it's confirmed by this chapter and later ones that this was Ashley's fault. Truly the one and only devil spawn. We then find Andrew in the balcony watching an ambulance taking off, and in the conversation Ashley commits the first incest line? No, wait, it's about the neighbor impregnating her. That is morally reprehensible, not because she'd be leaving our savior Andrew, because that would be a positive, but because the neighbor is a terrible candidate. Now me on the other hand, I might hate her, but I'm available. After the normal day-to-day of doing some chores and falling into a possible death, we wake up on the fucking bed to Andrew trying to break open the door, until the warden, probably after a gooning section, went to calm Andrew and negotiate with him. Then our characters talk about the parasites in their body. They wish to jump off the balcony, which eventually makes Andrew point out that it might be read as a romantic suicide, as he cutely describes the idea of the splattered bodies drilling into each other's and the remains being put in the same coffin. Wait, isn't that the name of the... Devil Spawn says that they already are in a coffin, like the title of the game, of the chapter, the thingy. Fuck! Dumb Devil Spawn then confuses romantic with romance, so incest goes up half a point, I guess. Either way, our demon-loving neighbor starts playing the classic CD Fuck bitch. Then our demon-loving neighbor starts playing the classic CD Demon Summer Hits 2019, especially the track Circus Chaos made by P. Davy, and we go see what he's up to. Oh my god! He summoned a demon! He's just like me, for real. Although he dies because he didn't have an offer. I survived because I summoned it by accident. Sometimes life is just funny like that. Probably didn't help, he insulted the demon. We then open the door to turn off his music. We analyze the dead body and Ashley suggests cannibalism, just like the Garden of Eden. She's going to corrupt our perfect being. She gaslights Andrew into accepting the idea by making him rationalize it, so eventually cut the corpse and put him in trash bags, keeping him in our freezer, which leads to today's sponsor, Fridge VPN. Don't you get tired of having a full fridge and freezer full of tasty food? Well, with Fridge VPN you can transfer your frozen contents between regions and different connected freezers. And for only $5.99 New Zealand dollars a month you can get the economy plan of this service with shared fridges and freezers with 12 hours over 3.5 days customer support. Remember, use code VERLOON10 to get 5% off the annual subscription. More in fridgevpn.fake. Now, where were we? Oh, no incest, cannibalism and the love of my life being tempted like Adam. I decide to cook the right leg. Any option should be fine. I would personally avoid the right arm because of the possible muscle from moving it up and down. Although the guy could do it with the left, like I tend to do. So the legs are the best call. Andrew naturally hates the meal, like any normal person would. Devil Spawn criticizes him for not enjoying the overcooked man as a dinner. Such a Devil Spawn. Not everyone is as fat as Ashley. So now we have the best and most emotional bit of this chapter. In a flashback, one of Ashley's friends starts liking Andrew. And Ashley decides to take her to one of the old warehouses and put her in an old crate, dragging Andrew into helping her. They invade the warehouse, and for an innocent game of hide and seek, Ashley chooses the crate, and the girl had asthma. Now, I know Andrew isn't entirely guilt-free here, but this is seriously psychotic behavior from a child. Clearly I seen a girl that just hasn't killed animals because she probably is too slow to catch one. We will eventually get more about this moment later in chapter and the game. So for now, let's leave it be. Andrew has remorse about eating a person, and Devil Spawn is trying to gaslight him again, and he admits he had to mutilate him further to make him fit into the freezer. This whole part is genuinely disgusting, and a dark mirror to the actual grotesque and horrifying parts of the dynamic. Then they get in the same bed. Look at this cute sibling couple. This is the cutest thing I've seen since Overflow's both options. Look, Andrew even bites Ashley's finger. So incestuous, so beautiful. We go back to the neighbor's house, and while Andrew reads about the demon rituals, we set it up for now, just in case. And after that, a warden knocks on the door. We scramble to tidy up the place. Oh look, Andrew is trading his porn mags for some noodles. He's such an wholesome brother. We clean up the mess at the neighbor's apartment, and we have to hide in the closet because Ashley is such a pyrocynical wet dream she can't reach the door before the guard comes in. The guard enters the room and opens the closet, and Andrew, like the little angel he is, merges the warden to protect Devil Spawn. She gets out of the closet, literally, and we analyze the warden's body, and of course Devil Spawn remembers Andrew of the crime he committed to protect her. Such a Oh, the keys to get out of here. We get out into the main corridor after Andrew tells us not to talk about what happened in the building. Ashley complains about no one helping them, which, if it was Andrew, I'd cry a river, since he did nothing wrong. But it's Ashley. I don't care if she leaves. Fuck off! Oh, fuck you. You took the words out of my mouth, Andrew. We go into the corridor and enter the warden's office, get the 302's apartment key, and watch the surveillance camera on the second floor. By the way, there's something about the B blood types, like our characters. Taking the stairs to the third floor, we confront the meat. In room 302, a girl who got all the food and all the guards' attention, enough to be more run through than a highway, and, by how her life is shown, should be as fat as Ashley. Okay, maybe not that much. So, we discuss our situation with her, and she refuses to leave. Obviously, she has a dream life here. Even if I was in her place, I'd not complain. Meanwhile, Devil Spawn complains that Andrew in fact is a guy and finds hot woman hot. We plan a way out. We first try to check the dead guard for a gun and find a walkie-talkie, so we decide to lure the second floor guard with the meat and sacrifice him. We make the meat speak at knife point, and we go to prepare the ritual quickly before he comes out and the demon appears before the guard. What are you doing, Devil Spawn? You can't summon the demon like it's Shin Megami Tensei and have no contract ready or not be ready for a demon negotiation. Or even just an offer. Oh, the guard has entered the room before she dies. You win this time, woman. We analyzed second floor's guard body and we find the key. And a gun, which will be important in the next episode of In the Coffin. Ashley, being jealous, wants to kill the sexy lady. Typical of Devil Spawn. What should I even expect? Unfortunately for her, when we go to room 302, we see that Andrew— That's it, Andrew! Clean the world of all this woman who sold her body for profit, Mr. YouTube. I need to be in your good graces so the demon keeps paying my rent. But at least it's one less in this story. You missed one though. All of this leaves Ashley metaphorically speechless because she can't shut up. That is how she conditions my angel Andrew. She tries to recontextualize his suffering as him shooting his load. Me Devil Spawn, he still has his pants on, and it's not with me. So we have more sibling rivalry about screwing that leads to Andrew confronting Devilspawn about her blackmailing and harassment of Andrew's ex. She tries to gaslight him about how he never helps her when she constantly asks for his help. Liar, liar, wet socks on fire or something like that. Then Ashley throws it in his face that he is the only one to dirty his hands and starts calling him Andy, and says that the death of the girl, which is something that clearly still weighs on his mind, was his decision. Which, if you paid attention, he tried to say no. But he probably was accustomed to keeping Ashley happy, which leads to, "Oh, it's now! Andrew! 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 Andrew!" And she keeps on living. Again. I feel like this isn't incest simulator, this is murder edging simulator. Andrew makes peace and we decide to walk out together with the condition Andy dies in the building. In the coffin. Like the name of the shut up. We go to the second floor, see a window open, roll the carpet, nail it, go down, and we are free! Andrew, worried about his sister, recommends skipping town and going to a buffet, the only place that can accommodate Ashley's eating needs, and to plan a small way of how to rebuild our life after meeting our current situation. We finish the chapter on a bus stop, with both of them happy to be out, and Ashley clinging to him more, and a kiss on the head. Certified incest moment to finish this story. 10 out of 10, Pierce Cinema, hands up. Chapter 2, The Rest. So, the story is pretty good, not great, clearly it suffers slightly from the comedic tone of the game, but it serves the characters way more than just a straight up adaptation of toxic relationships and the themes of this story, and helps the game stand out from the other thousands RPG Maker horror games like Fear and Dagger, Mad Feather, and Cops Party. It counts, doesn't it? Either way, the lore for now is simple and serves the first chapter well. We will discuss how the rest kind of fumbles his setup by just adding on top of it. On the other hand, I love the characters. I know I seem a bit biased for Andrew, and it's not because I find him cute, even if I do. But I mean, he needs to take care of Ashley. Perfing didn't have a chance to not be a victim like this. Andrew is, in my opinion, the true protagonist of the Coffin of Andy and Leyley. Now, throw your pitchforks or whatever if this is an unpopular conclusion, but this isn't the Blinkett's Phantom Menace review. I have facts. Look, who grows in this story? Ashley keeps and reiterates on her Devilspawn attitude. On the other hand, even if it's not a good growth, Andrew constantly steps up and has to decide to keep himself with Ashley or finally move on. He wants to change, but it's still stuck to the past, and we will see that more in the later chapters. But now, let's talk about the reason why he's stuck. Fuck Ashley. All my homies hate Ashley. She's a gaslighter. Now, with later contexts like mother like daughter, but she is the textbook manipulative psychopath. She reverts everything to herself and obviously has no empathy or remorse. Again, with later context, this is pretty partially their parents' fault, but it's obviously she came from the bowels of hell like this, and just didn't meet any resistance while growing up. So yeah, fuck Ashley, physically and metaphorically. Yes, I would. She is about as great and compelling of a character as Andrew. Like, if she wasn't crazy, I'd definitely take her after that one buffet trip. Unlike a certain cynical pirate that needs everyone over 250 pounds to be fuckable, I just like my girls, and boys, chunky, in part due to the holiness of voluptuous curves, in part because I may, possibly, definitely, be a filthy bottom, and I may like being slightly crushed. Now, the rest of the characters are one note, not much to talk. Cultist neighbor is nothing but that. The wardens are just following orders, but are also generous. And Meat is just a fun worker. Everyone but our main characters ends up dead, and while sure I'd love some extra tidbits on how Meat got the brothel treatment that easily. It's not really that important. Next, gameplay. It's an RPG Maker horror game. My brother in Christ, it's not that deep. Sure, the game could use more inventory management or have more options like later chapters, but it's like criticizing a glass bowl for not being made of ceramic. Every game requires its own specific mechanics. If you develop the story first, gameplay is supposed to complement the story or vice versa. Like, my guy or girl, this shit is not fear and hunger, this shit is not Steins Gate, this is you made Nikki's edgy cousin, so it fits all the boxes that it needs. The art, on the other hand, I love it. It's moody, it has personality, and it feels like an updated version of early 2000s designs, like Gorillas, with a more anime look. I won't dwell on art that much though, since it's mostly subjective, even if a bit more objective, I must admit. The fact is, I like the character design a lot. The environments are great. We do just stay in an apartment for most of it, but it has a great use of that scenery. Best of all, the art does not clash with the overall tone, nor the serious moments, which could have destroyed the tone of the game. I just don't like the cloud thingies in Dreamland, they look like My Little Pony stuff. Theme-wise, there's a lot to unpack here, the toxic relationships, the incest, what the demons mean on the next chapters, the souls, but hey, look at the time of this video, next time we can get into it. Now, we will have a bit more to talk about this topic, especially for decay and possibly burial, but I feel betrayed. None of you can tell me this is a problematic game when most of y'all have mummy and daddy kinks. And namely selling incestuous Crash Bandicoot art will not change my stance, especially in cases like this where it helps the story's themes. Remember, she wants to show their toxic relationships. In the end, the first chapter of Coffin of Andy and Leyley is really good, and explores really interesting themes and dynamics by presenting most of it with a lighter, almost comedic tone, which just shows the true depravity of the siblings' relationship, with space for serious moments that cue us in to the gravity of it all. Solid story, great character writing of the main duo, RPG Maker horror game gameplay, art that mostly emphasizes the story and its grim but fun tones, and barely no incest, makes this a really solid horror experience. Hold on. Horror? I take back everything I said, 0 out of 10, didn't get jumpscare. Where is my funny furry robots who are more scary? Tune in for the next part in 5 years or something. Bye bye.
Do get a bit quirky at night.